Our father needs peace and quiet.
Dad can't come back from this, right?
Probably not.
I'm keeping our father alive. How is that wrong?
Oh my God! A woman your age should not be living at home with her father.
Where the hell were you guys the last 7 years? I will not be bamboozled.
No one is bamboozling you.
Choice of language. This particular situation is not as uncommon as you might think.
What? What about Dad?
We need to be realistic, Mona.
What about me?
Just get out of here, Mona. Go somewhere. Do something.
You think Dad will find this funny?
Just so you know, the aunties are watching you smoke.
You're literally insane. You're an insane person.
Wake up, Honey Logan.
Boom, there you go. That is the trailer for Donkeyhead, which is now available on Netflix. And as you see on the screen, the star, y'all, she did everything, which I can only imagine because I've been an actor. Well, I am an actor and I'm a filmmaker, and just it's so much juggling so many hats, and she did it. She's still alive, as you see on the screen. Please welcome Agam Darshi. I'm sorry if I messed up your name already.
No, it's all good. You did really well. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for your time, and I see you survived.
I survived, like barely. I definitely was in bed for a long time afterwards, but no, it was such a joy to make this film.
Amazing. So how are you feeling? It's now available on Netflix. The world gets to see it, and array behind it. I want to get into all of that, but now that it's ready and here, the world's going to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts because literally a year ago we were in a small city in the middle of Canada and -40 making this film, and now it's like I just feel like the turnaround was so quick, and my life has just revolved around this film, and now it's out there. It's crazy.
Awesome. So tell me about the genesis of this project. How long have you had this story in your head? I know you were killing it. You were awarded for Funny Boy. That sounds amazing as well, that I need to check out. Leading off of that, like, how did this process come into putting this together as this next project?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the story's been in my head for a long, long time. I just love indie films. I love dramedies and family dramas. And then just in the last few years, I got really serious about really just like digging deep and making it a story and a film that I would be proud of sharing. And it got into, the Whistler Film Festival Screenwriters Lab, worked on it a lot with various story editors. And then after that, found my wonderful producers at Karma Film. And, Telefilm Canada was really behind this film and funded a lot of it. And then Deepa Mehta, who I worked with on Funny Boy, she's an Oscar-nominated filmmaker, and we really developed a wonderful relationship on that film. And she came on as an EP. Kim Coates came on. He's from Sons of Anarchy. And then this wonderful cast like Hussein Mandavji and Sandy Sidhu from Nurses, Stephen Lobo. So yeah, it just kind of like all came together very, very easily once I had actually made the intention that I was going to make this film regardless. Everything just sort of aligned, and now here we are. Ava and Array saw the film, and now it's going to be on Netflix. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's on Netflix now, y'all. Go check it out. But after this interview,
tomorrow. Yeah.
So, were you a filmmaker first? What came first? The writing, acting. Because for me myself, as I started off as an actor, and
Yeah.
I got behind the screen because they weren't telling my stories as a Filipino, as a Southeast Asian. So I was like, okay, you're not going to make my films, then I will just take the baton and get behind there, find the people, as you did as well, which I love. It's so inspiring for myself, and just make it happen. Can you tell me how, again, a little bit more?
I love hearing those stories, like what you did, and because that's what fuels me too, and that's what I did. Like I have many years of acting behind me. I've been acting professionally for like, oh my gosh, like 17 years now, in TV and film and theater. But I've always loved writing. And my dad would always tell me, he's like, oh, them just like keep writing, just like while you're doing all this other stuff, just keep telling your stories. So I did, and I've made a few short films and stuff. But I think what happens to diverse creative people in this industry, especially like, you've been in front of the camera for so long and you just feel frustrated because, I feel very blessed. I've had a great career, but I've never been like able to lead a story before and a film before. And that was something that I really wanted to do because there's just not enough of those films out there that would give me that space. Right. So, so I just created the opportunity for myself. And I think that's what happens is that either people get so frustrated that they just leave and they're like, I can't do this anymore. Or they get so frustrated that they're like, all right, fine. What does it take? I'm going to make my own stuff.
So true. So true. And, man, I feel it and I'm inspired. So this is such a deep story from what I read up from the synopsis. I unfortunately hadn't had a chance as of this recording to see it, but I'm dying to see it because it's now available, y'all, because we are recording this the day prior to its release. How did you find yourself to tell this story? And it seems somewhat autobiographical in a way because she's a struggling writer in the film, and I know you're a writer as well. How did you find that parts in your soul to put that on paper, which is hard?
Yeah, it is hard to right? It's hard to write really personal stuff and put it on the page. So to be honest, this film from the genesis was always about 4 siblings. And it was always, that family kind of dramedy. So I knew the tone, I knew what I wanted to say, but then over time it became much more personal. I lived with my parents when my dad was going through chemo, and I saw what an ugly disease that was. I saw my mom care for him day in and day out, and so that kind of became a huge anchor in the story. I love coming of age stories. I feel like sometimes they're a bit wasted on the young because I think it's a lot harder to come of age when you're older and you have to change and you have to start over and you don't look the way you looked when you were 16 and you don't have the same opportunities. So I think to me that was really important and a big part of this film as well. And then like everything else, I'm a huge voyeur, so there were pieces that were taken from my life, from my friends' lives, and I just kind of weave them in.
I love it. And I feel that I completely understand. So what was a lesson maybe you learned while making this film? Or just if you can talk about the process, because you were juggling all these hats. What do you think was the biggest lesson you learned while doing it? Now that you did it?
That's a really good question. There really is nothing like your own instincts, just trusting that. And even if they might be wrong, like obviously, I love collaboration. I love bringing a team together. I love having people around me who are smarter than me and who have great ideas. But at the end of the day, if you're not sure, like if you really have a feeling about something, always go with that feeling, because it's gonna teach you something, and people are looking for a leader when they're looking at a director. They want someone to believe in and they want guidance. And so it's just really important to really be tapped into that gut instinct. And honestly, like more days. Films these days are like, they're so fast and furious, and that's great. And you just make it, go out there and make it. But for me, just as a filmmaker, I think the thing that I would probably put on the top of my list, or whatever, it's just like more days, just so that you can really kind of take the time to tell the story that you want to tell.
Agam, I'm gonna make a quick note. The internet went latent real quick.
Sorry.
If you could start back up on your point again, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So I think it's, sorry, where did you lose me?
It was where are you? I think you were saying, I think I found it was like the last part of what you were saying.
Oh,
you recall that point? I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's okay. I basically just like, just from a really practical standpoint, more days is better. I would fight for more days over like fancy equipment or any of that kind of stuff. Just because it's so important for me, at least, to just have time with the actors, to have time with the words, to let things settle. I think that's just a really, really, really important. So yeah, that's something that I learned. And I also just learned to trust my instincts.
Yes, that is very important as filmmakers.
Yeah.
And as an actor, just go with it. You already know the character. You've read the lines. You've read the script. Now exist. Be.
It now exists. Exactly. Yeah.
So was this film done during the pandemic? How was making this film?
It was pretty crazy. I mean, I'm not from Regina, Saskatchewan. That's in the middle of like the prairies in Canada, and it gets really cold there. It's like -40. So that, on top of the fact that it was COVID, nobody really went anywhere. We all bubbled together, which was really special. And I think that's partly why there's so much chemistry between the characters and the actors, because literally when they weren't acting and on set, they were just hanging out in each other's rooms, and yeah, just getting to know each other. But it's scary, right? Like especially a year ago, nobody was vaccinated. Nobody knew like how to do this thing. We all wanted to keep everyone safe. So we got everyone tested. We had like great airflow, and we had like the COVID people. So yeah, it was definitely an experience. We had a really good AD actually, who had worked on a couple of different shows prior, and he was very aware of how to make this work within the COVID times. So his name was Jason Bond, and he did an excellent job keeping everyone safe.
I love that. And as you were saying that, and I noticed on the background that you set up, which is the poster, I believe, it says family, faith, and 4-letter words, which is amazing. I love that kind of good. That's a good statement right there. So you built a family to make this. So through what you were saying, in order to have this, and it speaks on family, what do you want people to know that are going to see Donkeyhead, and to drive them after they're done watching this to go check it out on Netflix?
I just want people to know that we're all the same. It's really like, it's what we've been fighting for like the longest time as diverse actors and stuff, is that we're all so similar. And hopefully people will watch this and they'll be like, oh yeah, that's like my family, or, I went through that. And it was really interesting, making this film in Saskatchewan, because there was a lot of like, at this one point, there was this guy, Pete Sweeney, our gaffer, this big burly guy, white man, who was like, said that he started tearing up in one of the scenes, because he's like, I went through that with my brother when my father was passing away, and it was just nice to know that these themes are universal, and that this family is universal.
That's beautiful. I love that. Yes. So with that being said, it is a universal project and a film that you ultimately are doing. We want everyone to connect. But what has I have to also ask, because I don't know about you, but I'm very proudful in my culture. How prideful are you to finally put this together, for us to finally like have films that represent us? And what has the feedback been from the community?
It's been really powerful, actually. I feel very, very proud of the people that came together to make this film, and their belief in the fact that we need to see more of this. There's like so few films of like Sikh men with turbans in the world. And so I feel like they're so misunderstood, and the culture, like the Sikh Punjabi culture is so misunderstood because of it. And so I just wanted to have a complex Sikh man on screen, that was really important for me. And Mona as well. Like there's so few flawed brown women out there, because they're usually so beautiful and they're so like smart, and lawyers and doctors on screen and things like that. And so it was really nice to just like create a character that just felt like me. Like she's like, she's the parts that I hide from the world, but she's very much like in me as well.
I love that. And thank you for that. Is from it's gonna inspire, as a Filipino, even though I'm not, like you, but as a Southeast Asian, it's gonna inspire other cultures to be proud of themselves and put their foot forward and make it happen. It's all gonna help build us all in. I think it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important to have these like spaces that you also create, right? Because
Yes.
like people wouldn't know about my film unless like, there was a space that you created. So it's such a domino effect, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no
here.
worries. Definitely. So now Donkeyhead is out there. What else can we look forward to? You have all this energy now from it. It's now going to be out in the world, and I know you're going to be heavily promoting Donkeyhead and talking all about it. But what's next on your project, and maybe that we can shine a light on, if we're able to talk about it, unless it's can't exactly talk about it right now 'cause it's kind of hush hush. But I'd love to just give you that time as well, and how
you.
also people can reach out to you.
Yeah. I mean, I have a couple of projects right now that I'm sort of bouncing between, but one that's deep in development is called Tiny Birds with Broken Brains. And it's also another feature that I'm writing, and I won't be acting in it, but it's something that is important to me. It's about the immigrant story told from the perspective of a young girl in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
I think what's really interesting about that story is that so many films talk about what it is to come to America or to come to the West with like this American dream, and that is very true. But we haven't really dived into like the trauma of what that must have felt like for so many people to come to the West and leaving behind everything that they know, not having a language, being so outcast from society, and then sending their kids, and what that does to a family. And so I'm super, it's definitely not a comedy in any way. It's a pure drama, but I'm very, very curious about sort of diving deep into that.
Oh my gosh, I love this because I'm Filipino, I'm immigrant as well. That's definitely something I think that needs telling. So I love that you're giving this as well. So thank you. What is the name of that again?
It's called Tiny Birds with Broken Brains. It might change, but I'm going with it now.
Tiny Birds with Broken Brains. I can't wait to hear more. I can't wait to see that. Please come back and talk all about it once that's all done. What are some of your, do you have some socials that we can throw out there that people can follow you on?
Yeah, my name, Agam Darshi, AGAMDARSHI, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I think it's reverse, Darshi Agam. But I'm around. So yeah, please follow and watch the movie Donkeyhead, and tell your friends and family about it.
There you go. I've put it up on the screen in this final edit. Y'all will see it right now. I'll also have it in the description below. Agam, this was such a pleasure. I'm dying to see Donkeyhead now. And if you were watching this right now, it'll be out and available right now on Netflix. Watch it with me. Tweet all about it. Hashtag Donkeyhead, hashtag Agam Darshi, so she can see those comments and we could just praise her for all the work she's done. This was such a pleasure, Agam. Thank you for giving me your time today.
Oh, thank you so much for your time.
Definitely, y'all. Give her all the love. Give her all the follows. It's your boy, Kuya P. Follow me at the legend Kuya P on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And of course, at the NRW and at New Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. Thank you guys so much. We're out of here.
Hey, my name is Agam Darshi, and I'm going to be talking on NRW about Donkeyhead, my new film. So I hope you can watch it. It's on Netflix right now in the US, in the UK, in Australia, and in New Zealand, and the rest of the world. It's coming soon.